Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're in Lafarge in, I want to say Illinois, but it's not Illinois, it's Wisconsin. And we're going to be doing something really interesting today. Janie's going to drive a tank and she gets to operate some of the equipment, which is with a blank, and it's going to, look like she's actually shooting it.
We're on the way. Yeah, right. I'm going to blow up some buildings.
Yeah. So stick around, follow us, and you can see her destroy some stuff. Or all of that was a load of crap.
Yes, load of crap.
And we're actually going up to Kickapoo Reserve to do some trails. So which one do you reckon it is? All right, so just down the road a little bit, there's a dead deer, and up in this tree here, there's a bald eagle. Now I'm going to try and get down there and try and get as close as I possibly can. Hopefully we can get something nice on video. So there's the roadkill up in this tree. Really hard to see at the moment because it's passing down the rain. I'll try and get a bit closer. All right, so the great big ugly man stalking the bald eagle chased the bald eagle away. I did capture a little bit of it as it was flying off, so yeah, enjoy that. I'll try and slow down the footage so it lasts a bit longer than the 2 seconds.
Were you taping the cop when he stopped you?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, I was walking along the road. We've got our hazard lights on, and of course the sheriff turned up and he was like, "What's going on here then?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to videotape the bald eagle." And he was like, "Oh, okay, good luck, see you later." Off he went. But then I crossed over the road behind the sheriff's vehicle, and Janie was watching the sheriff's vehicle, and the sheriff's vehicle took off, and I was nowhere to be seen, so she thought I'd been taken into custody. Anyway, enjoy the bald eagle. Well, it is absolutely teeming down with rain. We have come down to the visitor centre. There's a nice little covered bridge that we wanted to have a look at, but we're scared that we might melt in the rain. So we're just going to wait here for a little bit, and hopefully it'll clear off. However, what we'll do in the meantime is we'll give you a little bit of information about what's going on down here in Kickapoo Reserve. So back in the dark old ages, somebody in the government decided that they would build a hydroelectric dam here. And they went around and they purchased the properties off people that were happy to sell it, and then they forced all of the other people that weren't happy to sell it to sell their properties. And then they started doing the investigation into the environmental impact and cultural impact of actually installing the dam, which is a little bit back to front, and they decided that the impact was too great for the project to continue. Typical government agency, isn't it? So they
started building though. They spent a few $1 million building it.
Yeah, they started building it, and then they decided, actually, no, let's not bother to do this because the environmental and cultural impact is too great. One would think that all of that investigation would have been done before they started to force people off their land. Anyway, rolling the timescale forward a little bit, the area petitioned the federal government to make it into a state reserve, which is what's happened. So although there was a bit of a horrible start to the park, it's ended up being something that the area can be a little bit proud of. And they've actually got on the wall of the visitor centre all of the names of the families who lost their land over this
debacle.
Debacle is a good word. All right, it's stopped raining. Let's go for a walk. All right, so we're heading away from the visitor centre on one of the trails. It's a nice, easy trail, as you can see. This joins onto, I believe, one of the old roads that's in no longer being used, and I think it's been turned into like a horse trail. And we get down to that one, we turn left and we head down towards the river. Now, we don't know whether we can get across the river. We're hoping that we can. So that's the river down there that we need to cross. If we have to walk through it, we're going to get wet all the way to the top of our head.
Look.
So Janie's decided that the best thing to do when it's raining is to wear my jacket, and it looks like it's almost like a dress. It's that long. It comes all the way down to her knees.
This is a raincoat.
Okay.
Very wet.
Yeah, I just got to let you know that your attire makes you look like a little old lady now. So you've crossed the threshold from being, you know, the sexy young wife to being the geriatric old lady.
Maybe I should ditch this then. Yes?
Yeah, that looks better.
So do I still look like geriatric old lady?
I don't know, maybe our subscribers can let us know.
Yuck. Yucky, yucky, yuck.
All right, so that's the end of the trail that leads up to the visitor centre. And now this is the 131 trail, which is the old road, which is no longer a road anymore, but it's paved. And we're going to be heading down that way towards the river, and hopefully we can get across. All right, so this is the covered bridge, the one that we were hoping to see. And it looks like that's how we get over the river. So I don't need to go for a swim, which is nice. All right, so Janie, how happy are you that you don't have to swim across the river?
I'm not going if I have to cross the river.
You are going to cross the river.
I know it. There's a bridge.
Yeah, so
I'm not getting my feet wet.
yeah, but something else that we can keep in mind is because it's supposed to be thunderstorms today, which haven't really kicked off yet, this would be a good place to hide if it does really start to kick off. Yeah?
Really? Let's go back home.
Let's go. Interestingly, there's a lot of beaver activity here. And so as you can see, it chewed the hell out of this tree here, and then the park service has come along and cut it down. But over on this side over here, you can see where they've chewed out another one.
They destroy a lot of trees, don't they?
They certainly do destroy a lot of trees. I mean, I've noticed a lot as we've been walking past, and then when I saw this one I thought, no, that's definitely beaver. Yeah.
But we didn't see any of them. No beavers, I mean. We have not seen one.
No, well, they're usually in the water. We've seen them at other places, just
Yeah,
not
not
here.
here.
All right, so this final trail that we're doing now, it should show us the infrastructure that was put in for the dam, so how far they actually got. So I don't think they got very far.
They have a bit of a wall built up. I can see. We shall see.
We shall see when we get there. So all of this area where the roadway is what has been built up as part of the dam. And so of course it drops off on the left and right hand sides. Yeah, as you can see, I'll just quickly show you this. As you can see, it's been built up with all this rock and everything here. All right, so this is part of what the millions of dollars went into. And now apparently there are some concrete structures as well, so we'll have a quick look around and see if we can find those. All right, so that concrete structure there, that's all there is of the dam. And we'll try to get down a bit closer. All right, so this is the only part of the dam that's actually been finished.
It's not finished, and it will never be finished.
It's actually really interesting. You know, it reminds me of like the science fiction shows where they have, like the Time Machine, where they've got all of the sirens on the top of the building and they go off, and then the Eloi would walk and get slaughtered by the what were they?
What are you talking about?
H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Or, you know, you could see something like this in like Star Trek or any dystopian thing where they've got some weird concrete building out in the middle of nowhere and everything else has been completely destroyed.
Hang on. Rapunzel. Rapunzel's up there. That's the window.
Yeah, there is like a window at the top there, yeah. Well, there could be something out of a fairy tale. There you go. All right. So that's the end of our walk today. We've just got to get back to the visitor centre without getting too wet. Hopefully the rain will hold off on us. Guys, thanks for watching. And if you're in, what's the town?
Wisconsin.
No, that's the state. What's the town?
Hang on.
Lafarge?
Lafarge.
Lafarge. So if you're in Lafarge, come down here and do some of these walks. It's a really nice place. A lot of animals around. We've seen a lot of deer, a lot of rabbits.
Yeah, a lot of deers and bald eagle.
And a bald eagle, yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. Oh, you're still here. You might like one of these videos next.